of it, Steve. You walked away from the stand-up and really hadn't come back. Would you be willing? What would it take, Steve Harvey, to do the crypto.coms? What would it take for you to do SoFi? What would it take? How much would it take for Steve Harvey to do what they're doing on Netflix? You see everybody, you see Chappelle, Quake, all those guys had specials on Netflix. What would it take for Steve Harvey to give us 60 Minutes?
Well, first of all, I have to be done with the TV career, because once I do the special, I'm gonna be done with my TV.
Oh man, you cursing up a storm. You killing everybody, Steve.
No, they gonna take me off TV. It ain't no way. The cancel culture too live. See, the reason I stopped was because I saw, okay, I got Family Feud, I got Little Big Shots, I got all this stuff being offered to me. At one point in time, I had 7 shows on TV all at once in one season.
Wow.
I had Thunderdome, Little Big Shots, Amazing Grace, Celebrity Family Feud. I had 2 other shows. Showtime and DePaulo had came back on Fox. I worked 7 days a week, man. I went through a 41-week period with 7 days of taping. And I knew that if I performed as a stand-up, that whole TV career
everything
would crumble.
Gone.
And I was making enough to really solidify myself in television. So in 2012, I had to walk away because I was at the height of everything, man. I had everything going for me. So now, man, then I watch Chappelle and Rock and all these boys get 60 million here and all this here. And I thought about it, but I couldn't dump what I had for that.
Right.
Because I knew the longevity, I was gonna make it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so like today, man, this is probably been the first year I've been thinking about it. Just doing one more. And I'll probably have to call it something like "fucking I'm out" or something like that. Because I know that's gonna be it.
Right.
It's gonna be career ending.
Right.
Because what I really want to say, I'm not gonna do a special unless I can say what I really want to say.
Right.
I want to be like Rock and have selective outrage.
Right.
You know, I want to be like Chappelle and really say some things. But what I really got in my heart to say, if I say it, my career is over.
I don't consider myself to be a particularly ethical person, but I am fair.
And I am me. Welcome, my friends, to the RP experience. Peace and love to my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on notifications so you know when I drop a whole new video. Now, this is the video that I was going to do earlier in the week, but I need to do research and I need to watch this 2-hour video because a lot of people have been talking about, well, a lot of people in MySpace or talk about these types of subjects was talk about what Steve Harvey said in a clip. And a lot of that has been going around. And even I do it myself with taking a clip and then expounding on what I think it is. Yeah, I have to be careful of that because obviously one day that will be used against me. So that's another reason why I try to be thorough in my videos. Anyway, with what I'm saying here is I had a chance to watch his whole video, and while I do have my little gripes with Steve Harvey because of certain things that was caught that he has said over the years, I actually have to give him a newfound respect and admiration with his struggles and how he came up in his life and how he's lost it all a couple of times and he's come back. So this is not really a bash video. We are going to address what he said, but unlike most of the people that took the clip, and a lot of people have ran with that, and hey, you know, it's working for you guys. You have the views and stuff like that, and I'm still down here. You know, I'm trying to get up there, but I'm trying to do it. Well, I'm trying to do it a way that that resonates with me, that I can look at myself in the mirror. And because he has said a lot more other things in that 2-hour podcast, I'm going to touch on those things as well. So I get more of a insight on his way of thinking of why he said what he said, even though I understand where he's coming from, but in a way that he's wrong. So anyway, we're going to get on to the first video right here.
Same thing. Said the same thing. Why? Because everybody's not like you. Everybody keep talking about we're black. We want to see black succeed, and they ain't trying to see black succeed. Why?
See, man, when I was a little boy, my mama told me something. Remember we was talking about how your mama say something it don't really register then? She told me, she said, son, one day God gonna give you a big house up on the hill. When you get up there, you got to tell somebody else how to get on the hill. It didn't mean nothing to me,
Right.
12, 13.
Right.
But I've always kept that because there's room at the top.
Yes.
Because the top ain't crowded. You know, a dude named, this record guy, Ricky, I can't think of his name. He had a book out. The title of the book was, Ain't No Traffic on the Extra Mile. It ain't. If you go the extra mile, it's free out. You can do donuts. You can flip your car over. Ain't nobody gonna hit you.
Right.
It's room at the top. But we have an obligation as brothers to show each other how to get there. See, I ain't got to worry about you taking my market share, because what's for me is for me.
Oh, okay.
See, what I'm worried about, that's what people get wrong. People think if they blow out your candle, it'll make their candle brighter. No, your candle still a little ass flicker. Your punk ass. I don't know how you think, because your little bitch ass done sat up here and blew my candle out. You think your candle finna be bright. Same punk ass flicker, dog. That same punk ass flicker you been having, because you trying to blow my candle out. That ain't how it work. You need more candles, man.
Right.
And so my thing has always been to uplift, to teach people the way it's done, show them how to do it. So Ricky Smiley is a competitor of mine, technically.
But you put him on.
So?
DL,
a competitor. Quake, a competitor.
So you're not concerned, because there are a lot of people like, okay, I got a big house, but I don't want you in my neighborhood. You get a big house somewhere else, and maybe as long as it's not as big as mine, you don't care.
You can put a bigger house right next door to mine. What they got to do with me?
You got a big...
Dog, I can't sleep in all these rooms I got now. What I care if your house is bigger than my house? What I care if you got more cars than me? I like my cars.
But say, excuse me, Steve, how have you been able to handle that? Because you know that there are a lot of people that smile and say things in your face, and you know they say things behind your back.
Dog.
How do you handle that?
Who are you? First of all, man, real players?
Yeah.
Them real dudes, they ain't reading blogs and they not blogging. They ain't writing in the comment section. Real bloggers are not shakers and movers, decision makers, or power brokers. I give a damn what you say about me. You don't even know me. Most people talking about me don't even know me.
Right.
You know how I know you know me? You got my cell number.
Right.
Nah, dog, you ain't got my cell number, dog. Well, what you say about me don't even matter. Now, if you got my cell number, like if Said was somewhere dogging me, that'll hurt me. Because this is a dude that we got history.
Yes.
If Ricky Smiley was dogging me, that'll hurt me. If Quake was dogging me, that'll hurt me. If 50 Cent dogged me, I ain't never done nothing to 50. We ain't got no beef, but I'm just using him as an name.
Right.
I wouldn't be as effective.
Right.
I would be going like, what you talking about me for?
Right.
See, my mind ain't down there. And then I stay on the wall. If I stay on the wall, even if you throw rocks up, if I stay on the wall, even if your rock hit me, how much steam it got, you had to throw up on the wall. But if I come down off the wall to address you, you can bust me dead in the head with the rock. I don't give a damn about haters, man. They don't even know how I'm moving. You know, Jay-Z got hated when he cut the deal with the NFL. What y'all hating on Jay-Z for? Jay-Z making moves y'all don't know nothing about. Y'all sitting over here in your little punk ass life. You ain't got shit going, but you steady knocking somebody that's out here shaking and moving. How they give Shannon a podcast. They ain't gave him nothing, he took it. He went out and built it. He didn't go get permission, he built it. How he got these people, dog, what you worrying about that?
You know what, my grandma used to say something, she'd say, boy, sometimes God will put you in place people don't think you belong. And anytime you're somewhere where people don't think you belong, you know what they say, Steve?
What?
He don't deserve that. Who are you to tell me what God has made a mistake on me? He don't deserve this. He don't deserve to have Steve on his show. He doesn't deserve to have this. I'm like, bruh, you got so much going on for you. You don't want me to have a little success? Dog.
Wow. Now, I can only go by what's said here. And with this, it gives me a bit more insight of how he thinks. And a lot of people do not think that way. Because I know a lot of people in all professions, they're not trying to help somebody get to their spot. You know, because they have that I guess it's like a fear of somebody coming and outshining them or something. And I kind of get that because I've done that to a degree. I know when I was doing photography at a job that I was at, and people would want me to train people. And I have to admit, because I had to learn and grind my way to become the kind of overt photographer that I became in that company, I was hesitant to teach people. Now, I did at first, but it seemed like all the people that I taught had like quit. And then later, you know, when I got even better, I really didn't want to teach anybody. So, you know, I was wrong in that, but but I can see why sometimes people don't want to do that. But for people that do want to give people a helping hand, you know, it can be with like the YouTube stuff, it could be with a job, it could be with trying to become like a better salesperson and giving them not just light seekers, but giving them the total information to succeed. You know, not a lot of people do that. So my hat goes off to Steve Harvey. He's a little bit of a better man than me with that kind of stuff. Because I guess another reason I feel that way is if I had to like grind it out and nobody helped me and I get to like a certain extent, I'm going to be very, very hesitant to be helping somebody else because I'm going to be things that like, hey, I had to grind my way up there by myself and have no help. So you need to do that too. So I also had that flaw right there. See? Nobody's perfect. So everybody has like certain flaws. But see, in this way, Steve Harvey is right. He's correct. That's what you should do for people, your fellow man or woman. Also, with the other thing that he was talking about with like people talking about you, you know, uh most people I don't care what they think about me, but people that I've let in that's become like close friends to me, or I've let down walls with. Yeah, I do care what they think of me. So, but outside people out there, unless if I see is influencing the people close to me, then yeah. Otherwise, I don't care. So I do think that's the right mentality for him to have too, and I understand where he's coming from. Anyway, I have another clip here from that video. We're not going to do the whole 2-hour video. I just took certain clips that I liked out of there, and not just the one that he's getting a lot of flack from the internet for.
Millionaires and all the millionaires. And there's still money out there.
Plenty.
But we haggle over a few dollars.
See, because you know what it is, we get to a point that we ask God to get us to.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then we want to complain about it and safeguard it and act like it's fitting to go away. There's a saying, man, that I love. It says, I can't complain about how much is on my plate when my whole goal was to eat.
Right.
So now, dog, you got all these groceries on this platter. My platter full. Dog, I can't let you have some.
Right.
Or I can't show you how to get a platter. They making money. They printing money every day.
Right.
It's available, man, and you get more of it. And I think that's a big part of my success. I think because God will always keep me covered.
Right.
Because I just honor the principle of I don't mind helping and sharing.
You definitely don't.
Man, I've given people stuff. When the story do get told, I've actually thought about doing a documentary myself. When the story does get told about the number of people that I help that I don't even know. Man, the kids me and my wife done sent to school that we don't even know, the scholarships we done passed out, the things we've done. I'm talking about people that when the hurricane came through and wiped out the Bahamas, man, you had no idea how many people we went over there and helped, what we did. And it's because I understand that principle. And the Bahamas don't owe me nothing.
Right.
And the people that get these degrees don't owe me nothing. But God gonna give me back tenfold. Dog, I'm always working. I'm always good. I'm always showing up with some new project. I just keep showing up, man.
Right.
And that can only be God. Like you said a minute ago, you said people look at your success and they say he don't deserve that. Well, grace ain't fair. Grace is God's unmerited favor. It's when God just do you some favor. He do you a favor.
Right.
You can't earn grace. You ever hear old people say, all I want is a little more grace? You can't buy grace. Bruh, if I could buy grace, I wouldn't have no money in the stock market. I wouldn't have no money at Merrill Lynch.
Right.
I wouldn't have a quarter nowhere. I would take every dollar I got and give it if I could purchase this one thing called grace, God's unmerited favor. Because he do above and beyond.
Right.
For you,
Right.
For me. I mean, really, dog, where I'm sitting right now, I can't even really explain it, dog. I ain't that damn funny. Really.
Right.
Not really, dog. God he keep on
Blessing you.
Man, that's all it is, man.
Wow, that's some good life advice right there. And I know it's a bit religious for most people. I know I'm not as religious as I used to be because I know I was raised in the church. But, I believe everybody has their own relationship with God. There's some people are more closer than others. And, we're all making our way through life here. And I do live by that thing now. That's why I've done big things in my past of like just taking pictures of like lots of pictures of people for nothing, like no money, just because. Now part of it was I was trying to heal a certain part of myself, so I just was trying to distract myself and give, but at the same time I did receive from uh like love from people, admiration, and things that I can't really put into words that I believe that God put in my heart. So I do believe that stuff works right there. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the next clip.
Smiling hard as hell.
I'm reason you lost everything twice.
Yeah.
In 2005, you had $1,700 left. This was after Kings of Comedy.
Yeah.
You got $1,700 after you made what, like $30 million on that tour.
Dog, we made more than that.
And you got $1,700 to your name. What the hell happened to the money?
Yeah. It's called a divorce. I got jumped on, man, but it was even before the divorce.
Right.
Cause not gonna say who did it, but they got in cahoots with my financial planner, and I was writing checks to the government for 7 years.
Right.
Writing tax checks, signing the tax checks, giving them to turn in. They was keeping them, taking the money out the account, like I was paying taxes,
right,
and keeping it for themselves. When my accountant passed, a lady went in the office and found a box on the floor, and I had 7 years of unpaid taxes. And I'm thinking I'm even. And then my lawyer said to me, hey man, you ain't paid taxes in 7 years.
Ooh, so you haven't paid in 7 years plus the interest.
Then I had saved some millions, but before I split the assets, she took all of that out the bank, moved it. See, the funny thing, I got divorced in November 2005. But then they went on a rampage to destroy me and act like we was in a divorce fight. We were actually just trying to split some assets.
Right.
The divorce was over.
Right.
It was no fight for nothing.
Right.
It was just, let's split the assets. But you took all the assets.
Right.
And I was stuck with this tax bill.
Right.
So I had to pay 7 years of back taxes with interest and get current. I was in a world of trouble, man. So when I looked up, man, I had $1,700. But that's when I went to New York and signed the contract for syndicated radio. Here come God again, rescuing me. That just gave me a little bit of money. I wasn't making what I make now. I make like 10 mil a year off radio. Back then, you know, because I just wanted to get in the dough.
Right.
And that kept me at least be able to survive.
Right.
And then that was 2005. I reconnected with Marjorie in 2005, right after the divorce. 2006, she came.
You reconnected. So y'all had dated before?
I dated her in the 80s.
Really?
Yeah, I dated her in the 80s.
I thought they say love is like an eclair. Once it goes cold, it can't be reheated.
Your mind ain't go cold. Red hot, poker hot, hot tamale hot. I'm talking about Tabasco.
So
it's just I got in trouble.
Right.
When we started dating, I became homeless.
Right.
Wasn't no cell phone.
Right.
I just had a house number. She had a little baby. I figured, what I got to offer this woman? I'm in trouble now.
Right.
So I just drove off. We never had an argument or nothing.
Right.
You know?
Wow. Why did you continue to believe in love? After everything that you've been, like you're telling me you've gone through a divorce and things happened with the taxes and she took half the money, 3/4 of the money. Here I was, thought you were selling your money because you made all this money on Kings of Comedy and you got $1,700 to your name. Why did you believe in love twice? Why did you believe in you could find love again?
Because of my mom and daddy. My mom and daddy's married 64 years. I saw what it looked like.
Right.
I saw what it looked like when it was hard, when it was good. I watched a man honor a woman. I've never seen nobody love nobody like my daddy loved my mama.
Okay, so this now makes sense why he said what he said in that clip, because of his parents, his father and mother. They had one of those old school types of love. Now, however, even though the women would be clapping in the background, I'm pretty sure they were old school to the bone, meaning the guy worked and the woman basically stayed home and watched the kids. Maybe she worked too, because I know when you're starting at the bottom with like struggling and stuff like that, even at that time when stuff was cheaper, both people would have to work at some point. But I'm pretty sure she did most of the house duties. But that's neither here nor there. But now I understand why he thinks the way that he thinks because he had that example. Now, Steve, which you probably will never see this video, remember, not everybody has that type of example. You know, my mom was not married, and I did not know my dad. So, you know, lots of different people have lots of different experiences. Obviously, if I would have had experience like that, then I would probably think, even though I still did believe in love, but I've got burnt a couple of times. And it was my fault. You know, uh, I can't say I always trusted the wrong people. It just was a thing of I allowed them either too much access or I allowed too many things to go instead of being a lot more assertive and less going with the flow. You know, I need to find more of a balance with that. And plus the other thing with him losing his money, and note to self, you guys, you ever start making a lot of money, you do all your tax stuff yourself. You trust no one when it really comes to money. I don't care if it's husband, wife, and stuff like that, because I hear too many times of celebrities, they think their taxes are being paid, and then later, years later, because the IRS never comes after you when it's just a year or two, they wait till it's a colossal bill, and then they come after you. So you pay your taxes yourself. You do everything yourself when it comes to the money. Why do people keep letting other people handle that kind of stuff? Trust no one. Anyway, I think I have one more clip.
If you look at since 2000, we got married in 2007. If you look at from 2007, I got Family Feud in 2009. The book came out 2009. Miss Universe after that. The talk show after that. Little Big Shots after that. The Judge show. The radio show got big after that. 4 books later, the movie came out, Think Like a Man. All this after that. What else is it? I just locked in with this chick, man, and she gave me a lot of good advice, man. She made me see things in a different way. And it was her, man, and it's okay, man. It's people don't want to do that. Now, I know they tired of hearing me saying, but what you want me to say? Shit, I ain't got nothing else for you. Shit, it wasn't just all me.
Right.
She gave me the mindset to be me. And that's crazy, man. It's like there's a dude named Nuri Muhammad. I wish I had my phone, man. You could hear what this dude said about relationships. It's the coldest thing. He said, other than your relationship with God, who you choose to spend the rest of your life with is the single most important decision you will ever make. Because your other half will either your other half will be your better half or make you half of what you could be. Wow. She will either inspire you to greatness or reduce you to mediocrity. And then he went on to talk about, he quoted Minister Louis Farrakhan, and then at the end of it he said, so choose wisely. And that was the first time, man, that I'd ever chose wisely. And it was the best thing, because a woman like an elevator button, man, they can take you up or down. If you get the right one, you got something. You get the wrong one, but it's like a man to a woman. If you get the right man, you can go somewhere. Right. You get the wrong man, you off. Like I heard you say one time, well, I was laughing so hard, you said you paid for a divorce.
Yeah.
I said, this dude right here was committed.
But see, I want people to say, she was getting a divorce already. I didn't break the home up.
I don't give a damn.
Because you know how people take it and run with it.
Yeah.
She was getting a divorce.
And him all the money.
Right. Right.
What's wrong with that?
Right.
I'm trying to invest in my future.
Right.
See, these dudes kill me. That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job.
But what happens to when the woman tell you, I don't need a man, Steve?
Well, they need to, what? Okay, if you don't, how that's working?
And that's the clip that men went off on. Now, I admit, when I saw it, knowing his other content, because I remember when an ex of mine was reading that book, like Think Like a Man, and I read some of that book, and I'm like, speak to yourself, because not all men think that kind of way. Maybe you and a lot of guys that you hung out with thought certain kind of ways, but not all men. Like, there's some things that all men do, and then there's things that men branch off with, and they do their own thing. That's the one good thing usually about men. Like, women, unfortunately, a lot of you will copy each other. Like, a lot of you will try to be Beyonce, or be, whoever your queen is. A lot of you will try to do that same type of energy. Now, men will do it too, but usually the weaker types of men, which that is like a lot. But a lot of men will get into a lane and stay in that lane. Like, if a guy is a gentleman, he'll stay there. If a guy's a thug, he'll stay there. Sometimes you do have to pick up certain traits from another one, but most of the time we will evolve to a certain degree with that. Now, I understand why he said that now, looking at his parents and his old school way of thinking, and that is a man's job to take care of a woman. But see, that is the thing. I've always hearing what a man should do, even from other men. But however, what does the woman have to do? And he said the thing about a baby, making another me. What if I don't want a baby? What if she cannot have a child? There are some women, does that make her inconsequential now, that she's like nothing because now she can't have a child? So I'm not saying that's not a big thing, because women keep the species going, but she can't make a baby without a man. So I know he didn't mean to do that, but in a way, you are kind of devaluing what men are, and putting women on the pedestal. And a lot of them will say they don't want to be there. And plus, they start looking down on you and treating you any kind of way. Anyway, I have another creator here that will be able to address what men really think and feel about that clip better than what I could, because obviously I am trying to understand why he said that. But on another note, I mean, I know you have a certain audience that you have to like cater to, and then of course you have a wife that you have to cater to. But however, if she doesn't, well, you say she does bring you peace and stuff. Now that's something that I put in this video so that people know. So I mean, she is doing things for him, even though he didn't say the stuff that she was doing for him, but he did say he gave her peace and encouragement. A lot of women don't do that. They just try to break you down. So a lot of women are the wrong women. Anyway, let's go.
I work every day. Every day. Yeah, and you're disrespectful. You're rude. You don't give me nothing.
Female Nature 101. Accountability is a woman's kryptonite. Logic is her arch nemesis. And deflection is her ultimate defense.
That's what's wrong with this generation today. These young boys today, what do she bring to the table? The hell you mean, man? What do your ass bring to the table? You got a woman that can come to the table that can make another you. What else she need to slide up to the table with? What about your job? What happened to men who were supposed to be responsible? Do you know that it's our job to take care of a woman and some children, to have a family? That's our damn job.
Steve, if you want to play that game, I can play that game too. What happened to all of the women who want to save themselves before marriage? What happened to all of the women who said their marriage vows on their wedding day and living up to them? What happened to all of the women who want kids, stay home, protect and nurture the kids and hold down the fort while the man is out grinding his ass off trying to protect for his family? What happened to those women, Steve? Because nowadays, women are acting like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jada Breeze presents to you the Eat That Thing from the Back 3000.
Different guys. Let's say I got pregnant, I wouldn't know who the dad is. The kid would for sure be black, but I don't know who the dad would be.
Whenever I first moved to LA, there was a month that I took 30 different cream pies.
You went 30 for 30.
I was filming every day.
You just oh fuck.
You can't ask any guy in your contact list for money. You need to delete them all. Delete them all. Get rid of them all. Waste men. Those are waste men. Think that asking a man for money means you're begging? Then I'm sorry, sweetie. And you wonder why the men that you attract are all feminine.
You see, Steve, a lot of these women, they want a traditional man, but yet they do not know how to be a traditional woman. And what happened to all of those women who are not looking for an easy come up? Because nowadays, women have a lot to gain from marriages, while men have a lot to lose.
I have a problem with cheap men, not because of the money. Cheap men are also cheap with their emotions, with their time, with how much they're willing to give in a relationship. Like that guy who's not willing to pay for my $5 chicken and rice. What about when we have kids one day? That guy's not going to be willing to get up in the middle of the night with me to feed the kid, right? Because he's going to be like, well, that's your job. It's like, okay, well, then what is your job? If you're not the breadwinner, if you're not the caretaker, I'm just your bitch over here. Yeah, that's not equal. Okay?
Okay, I don't know what she meant about him not being the breadwinner. She could have meant that they're both working, so he's not paying everything. Once again, in my relationship, I didn't mind helping with the chore duties because sometimes she would be at work and I would be home, or either I would see that she's like really tired and exhausted, and I wanted to help make her life a little easier. So, I even coming into this space, I'm not going to change that with myself. Now, if for some reason I am doing like all of the work out there, getting the money and doing all of the stuff of like the uh fixing the car, or doing all of the mowing the lawn and stuff like that, then she needs to be doing stuff in the house as well. Now, with the women that I've been around, and really I can only go by the person I've been with the longest, she had no problem cleaning. So she would clean and she was neater than me. So, I will say I had other issues with her, but it wasn't that. So I do think most women have that nesting thing in them. I just think they just don't want to be told, like, hey, this is what you should be doing and stuff like that. But I do think once you have kids, that pressure is a lot more. And then, like, I'll say like toddlers, like babies, toddlers. Uh, I think with this generation of women, they get more overwhelmed with, I guess, doing that, and then competing online on Instagram or something, trying to portray a lifestyle, trying to hang out with their girlfriends, trying to keep everything from like their social life to whatever, not thinking that a baby is going to change your life a bit until they get old enough to start taking care of themselves, which may be what, like 9, 10 or something like that, maybe 8, depending on the kid. So I don't know. I don't have too much to add. That guy said it perfectly, and I already addressed that. Anyway, that's it with this video. I wanted to be thorough. I didn't want to attack Harvey's character or say anything about his family or anything like that, even though his daughter is an easy target because of the Michael B. Jordan thing and her history, but I'm going to keep that out of this conversation right there. But now I understand why he said that, and I believe a lot of men think like that way. But see, I think that hurts them when they get with the wrong woman, and I can only hope that that woman that he picked continues to be the woman that he thinks she is. Anyway, that's it. You guys, I might have a video coming out later today, but yeah. Have a good day.
But I still hit though.
Yeah, that's why you only lasted 2 minutes.
A win is a win. A win is a win. I don't care what y'all say. A win is a win.
And I was born a man.
I still wanna run to you. Am I breaking through? Do you feel me too? Pando made it. I still wanna run to you.